Hey, this is to Jason Blaha of Juggernaut Fitness on his IPF rant. Hey, Jason, you graciously invited a rebuttal during your rant, and I'm happy to oblige. I'll address you point by point. So, first off is safety. You said that the IPF doesn't care about the safety of its lifters. This is wrong. I assume you're talking about monoliths and slings. They're unnecessary. I've competed, observed, or spotted at like 10 competitions now, right from the local nowhere level right up to international and worlds. I've never seen somebody so injured by a lift that they're unable to lift it. I've seen, I've been spotting on a couple of occasions where the lifter has like ducked out away from the bar, it's fallen off the back, it's come out in front. In fact, here's a video of me spotting 311 kilos, and it comes right off the front. Now, did you notice no one was hurt? If you have some statistics about injuries with and without monoliths and slings, please share. I don't have. Anecdotally, I've seen no evidence of them being unsafe, in and of itself. But if the worst does come to the worst, people do get seriously injured. IPF affiliates have sports insurance that covers them and their members in the event of serious injury. Okay, second up, drug testing. You claim it does nothing. Those are your words. It does absolutely nothing. That's not true. Even however imperfect a system drug testing is, it does catch cheats. For example, at the 2014 Asia Oceania Championships, Kazakhstan brought a team of 11 lifters, of which 6 tested positive in competition testing. That's not even out of competition, and we could talk about how out of competition is more effective, and that's maybe for a future video, I'm not sure. However, even the very presence of drug testing does cause cheaters to use less drugs, and given the dose-dependent effect, less drugs mean less of an effect. So, and whatever your feelings of the subject of drug testing, however bad or useless it is, what is the alternative? I know you personally don't believe in drug-free sport, but I, and the majority of people do. As a drug-free athlete, I don't want to compete against drug users. So what do you suggest that I do? Even if it's not perfect, drug testing, the best choice for drug-free sport is still the IPF. And I'll add one more thing to that. Drug use in sport is unethical. You simply can't say that athletes should use drugs for your entertainment because you think it's more fun to see them lift heavier weights. It's unethical. Thirdly, on equipment fees. Infamously, the belt rule, for example. Companies like SBD and Alico put money into this sport. The argument that Gaston Parage, the IPF president, gave is that because they are putting money into the sport, they should also get some money out of the sport. And by doing that, you should only be able to, you're using competition, those by companies that have contributed to the sport and the competition. That's Gaston's reasoning, and I definitely see his logic. But every sporting international governing body needs to raise money to function. And the IPF is no different. They don't have a great deal of revenue streams, and this is a fairly important one. And lastly, a small point about the association rule, the one that you're claiming where you can't even be friends with a fake fed lifter. This is a wider rule and applies and only applies to people who've been caught in a doping ban, people who are serving doping bans. You're not allowed to coach, be coached by, or have any sort of professional relationship with them. It has been misinterpreted to mean that you can't be friends with untested lifters, but you can. Unless they've been banned from a real sport, for example, IPF powerlifting, or I don't know, like FISA rowing or something like that.